The RAF has sparked fury after announcing it's going to retire 30 quick reaction alert jets used to protect British skies from potential attacks.
The jets will be grounded despite completing only just 40% of their predicted flying hours in a move that has been likened to, quotes, scrapping Spitfires before the Battle of Britain. Military historian and defence analyst Chris Newton joins us now. Chris, there are, I think, many people who will make that parallel about scrapping Spitfires before the Battle of Britain. What on earth is going on at a time when we're talking about heightened tension, the need to defend the country? We have some highly capable aircraft. They are quite old in design, but they're still highly capable, and the RAF is telling us it's not going to fly them. What is going on?
Good morning. Essentially what the MOD is doing is essentially these aircraft, these 30 Typhoon aircraft, they're a part of the older tranche 1. So these were entered service in from 2003. And effectively the MOD's argument is that they're going to cost to maintain, and they don't have the kind of the equipment and the software of the later tranche 2 and 3 aircrafts, and therefore to keep them is going to be expensive, and the money, the £300 million, is going to be needed to spend on maintaining tranche 1 could be used on tranches 2 and 3 instead.
Chris, that sounds very rational, but don't you think it's a PR disaster? Is this not going to cause outrage? I mean, is it not a mixed message from the government, on the one hand to be telling us that we're in a security crisis, and on the other hand to be retiring capable aircraft?
Yes, I outlined the MOD's position, but I agree with the Defence Select Committee, which says that instead of disposing and stripping of them, these aircraft should be put into storage and should be held in reserve, should be mothballed in time for a conflict. And I agree, these aircraft should be kept. We've seen in terms of the war of Ukraine how important numbers are. Technology is important, that's certainly the case, but numbers are important as well. And if we were in a war against Russia or a major conventional war, we will need a reserve. We will need our full structures need resilience built into them. So in that sense, we need that, and you're right as well. It does send the wrong message with regards to Russia and our willingness. If we can't spend this money on an operational reserve, it doesn't send a good message to Russia and about our resolve and our willingness to deter major conflict.
Chris, instead of retiring them, as you mentioned Ukraine there, could they not go to Ukraine to help their war effort?
Yeah, I mean, this has been looked at last year. The problem with that is that these, as Michael mentioned earlier, these are, despite their older aircraft, these are still highly sophisticated aircraft. There are also weapons integrations issues as well with regards to the Ukrainians operating them, and Ukraine needs more simpler, aircraft that they can train on very, straight away without taking into consideration the highly sophisticated avionics and sensors and software which the Typhoon has. So it's a good idea. It's a nice idea, but it's just not practical. And there's also practical issues with runways and how the aircraft is designed as well. So the Ukrainians are more interested in F-15s, F-16s. These are more suited to Ukrainian needs.
Chris,
thank you very much.
Yeah, let's get my words out. Military historian and defence analyst. Thank you so much for talking to us this morning. As a defence secretary, when you heard about this, a former defence secretary, were you surprised?
Horrified, absolutely horrified. But I thought Chris Newton there spelt out that there is a ready U-turn. So instead of disposing of the aircraft, which I think would be negligent, criminally negligent, I mean, if they really can't afford to run them at the moment, at least put them in a warehouse somewhere so that they can be brought out and used in due course. But I think even that sends a very bad signal, doesn't it? I mean, we heard a very good technical explanation there from Chris as to why they can't be used in Ukraine. But the public's not going to understand why these very capable jets are being retired. A PR disaster, I have a feeling the government's going to have to put it right.
OK. And we will let you know here on GB News.